Back at the Order HQ, Victor Frankenstein stands in Pretorius's office. Pretorius saying, "A lot has changed in the last 2.25 centuries you've been dead." Victor then drinking a glass of sherry at the side of Pretorius's desk. He then asks, "Why can't I taste? And why am I so strong?" as he breaks the glass with his hand. Pretorius then says, "Well, you're brought back to life. It may take some time before your taste buds begin to readjust. Also, the reason for your strength is because the electrical currents brought back your muscles and, well, it appears to have had a full charge-on effect, with that giving you the inhuman strength that is deep with all of us." "How is that creature still alive?" said Victor. Well, it appears that he is immune to a lot of things. The cold, bullets, wounding. He doesn't bleed like a regular human, but he is made out of humans. He is a creation of man. I should not have done what I did all those long times ago. Oh, but you did, Victor. You see, I believe that God has a plan for all of us. And maybe at your time, he thought man would be ready to be among them. You see, I'm sure you know in Greek mythology, the Titan Prometheus believed man and God should be equal. I think God was catching up with that time and giving you that knowledge. The knowledge that you could not understand of your time, but science has come a long way since then. We can cure illnesses and disease, but not death. Well, until now. You see, with your work we may have finally cured it, and if we can cure death, we can have more time to study sickness, disease, like cancer or polio or other diseases or other things that can be terminal. When we can cure death, we can then learn from the diseases that can kill us and provide medicine. Like, for example, when a cancer patient dies, they die, but the cancer cells still live on, deteriorating and killing the body as it rots in the ground, or if they are being cremated, that is, the flames destroyed. But I think to first cure illness, we must stop the body clock. People from dying. You're insane. I'm not insane, Victor. I brought you back from the dead after you freeze to death, and your body was greatly preserved in the ice. I had one of the scientists of the Foundation blackmailed into... Well, I held his family hostage, and they were, well, released when he followed the instructions, giving me a digital copy of your diary, and, of course, your body. You brought me back to life without consent. What if I don't want to be here? Well, Victor, we feel that now you're in a time where we can understand this. Your creation, that abomination. I wouldn't say he's an abomination. He's a child of man, not God. Yes, he was made out of evil people, but they fulfilled a greater purpose in the end after they died. You created your monster. And, of course, the Foundation rewards this creature by, well, how could I say, giving him a mate, and also having him do their dirty work, slaying monsters that they feel aren't good or anything like that. But we all know that the supernatural is all evil. We at the Order serve that greater purpose of all gods and religious figures. We are all the religions together. But I feel nothing. I don't even feel cold. Am I cold? You are quite cold, but your life force is now an electrical current going through your body. Then, at the Order, the alarms and everything go off as Adam fights his way through the security team of the Order till they manage to restrain him and hold him down. Pretorius then intervenes, saying, "Gentlemen, please, don't harm our guest." "How did he find us, sir?" said one of the Order's security. "Well, I sort of gave him coordinates to find us. I wanted him to come here." "You wanted me to come here so I can kill that Frankenstein?" "Yes, Adam, I did. But now that you're both here, maybe you can reconcile and see the potential each of you are given." "God, look at you," said Victor. "You are the same as you were when I last saw you before I died in that ship. So you took my body to the North Pole with you and you let it freeze?" "I freezed too. I slept for hundreds of years. I thought the world could not accept me, and I just lived a quiet life until I freezed. That's when the Foundation found me, and then they gave me a meaning, a purpose, a name. They fulfilled promises that you broke. I'm forever in their debt." "Oh, dear, dear," said Pretorius. "If only you could see that the Foundation are using you as a weapon." "Come, Adam." "That thing is not Adam," said Victor. "He is nothing. He killed my brother, my father, my wife, and we'd been married for less than a few hours. He framed my brother's au pair for murder. He caused terror, all because you rejected him, Victor," said Pretorius. "You did that. You made him afraid of himself. You abandoned him, and he gained emotions that not even he could learn to control because you weren't there to teach him that. He had to learn everything himself." "If I might interrupt, I wanted Frankenstein to stay dead. It's what he wanted." "By the way, what is it like being dead, Victor? I never got to ask you that." "It's nothing there. It's like going into a deep sleep, just nothing." "I don't believe that, Victor. You see, if you did not see anything, then it clearly was not your time to go. You merely slept, and then I awoken you. I'm sure there is a life after death. There has to be a life after death. The supernatural exists, and they are undead. Adam exists, and he is made out of the dead. He even probably has a soul." "I have soul. I have many souls, as I am the souls of many, many prisoners." "Yes, of course. I looked at everything, what Frankenstein recorded." "Enough. You are going to not hurt anyone anymore." "I'm strong now," said Victor. "Yes, well, I will destroy you. We may not be able to mortally be wounded, but I know that fire can destroy us. Elizabeth proved that when she—
Don't you say her name, said Victor. Don't you dare say that woman's name.
You brought her back, and she saw that she was an abomination for what you did. I merely showed her that she was not worthy of you. You created me, and all this time I thought I was the monster. But you are.
Enough, said Pretorius. Let us settle this in my office. Gentlemen, would you please take them there?
We're not going to the office. He's coming with me.
Oh, I wish I could believe that. Then the SWAT team trank them and contained them, restraining them with high-voltage tech and putting them in a container where they can't escape. Now, said Pretorius, I'm sure that I can let you two talk without having to attack one another. Of course, these chains are strong enough to hold down an elephant. I'm just hoping that they are strong enough to hold you two down. Still, father and son, he is not my son.
And he is not my father. He abandoned that right when he rejected me.
All the more reason for you to talk. Now, gentlemen, please. Meanwhile, as they speak, Adam then reaches into his wrist where there is a stitch line, picking out the stitching as he talks to Frankenstein.
So, how does it feel being in the 21st century?
I'm not talking to you.
You don't have to talk to me.
Adam then manages to pick the stitches from his wrist and reach in as he grabs the little tracking device and pushes the button that was given to him, summoning the Foundation to his location and to find him.
You made me—
Shut up! No!
We are contained separately, but we can still speak and see one another, and you are going to listen to me. You made me, yet you failed to take responsibility for me. All those things I did. When I was learning to talk, I saw a farm, a family who was struggling. They had a man there that was blind, and I observed that family. The mother was teaching and educating her child, and I also learnt along the way. I learned to speak, read. Then I decided to do nice things for the family, help them with their crops. And then that is when the blind man noticed me. He was the only person at that time that showed me any niceness. He saw me with his hands and judged me for my actions. And then, when his family saw me, unable to understand me, they fled the farm and I burnt it to the ground. I wanted you to suffer. I became this because you would not live up to your responsibilities, and look where it's led you. Look where you are now. Shut up. I don't know if I'm in hell or not, but if this is not hell, it's the next best thing.
I realized that I was playing God and no man should play God. This Pretorius fellow, he thinks that this is modern science. It is. Science has changed a lot now. You know that a woman can be pregnant without sexual intercourse, merely by artificial insemination. They believe that's what the Virgin Mary went through, and I kind of think that's quite a plausible thing. You know, man of this century theorized that ancient beings came from the stars and educated man in the early times. That's what they believe. But of course then there's all that with religion, the devil, the angels. You really have had a lot of time to think, haven't you? I read the journal and the Bible. That's all I had to read. I read it over and over and over again until eventually I got frozen and I could not move, and then I closed my eyes. Next thing I wake up and it's the 21st century. I deal with an event with other supernatural beings. I become part of a team they call Monster Squad, where I was fighting alongside Dracula and Imhotep. I fought against it with them. A wolf man. A man that could turn himself into a monster. And a creature that was of scales, a gill man. I fought alongside them. I was recruited by Dr. Griffin, who gave me a name and purpose and meaning. Even gave me a companion, which I asked of you. You know, if you just simply had done that, it would have righted the wrong that you did. Yes, well, I could not play God again. But you did for Elizabeth. Shut up! Saying her name, you don't get to speak her name. What would she think? Shut up. You are the real monster in this, Victor. You are the monster. Then, a whole Foundation team start raiding the Order's facility, all firing other soldiers. Them being supernatural beings, they then tackle them. Then, the Order guards start holding up crucifixes, saying chants and prayers. Then, a SWAT team break out Adam, and then Adam frees Frankenstein. Victor saying this does not change anything. I know. Then, Pretorius has guards holding up guns, crucifixes, and all other religious symbols, saying, "Now, Adam, where are you going? You want to be with these devil worshippers. Don't worry, I don't need you. I have what I need with Victor Frankenstein. By the way, I've got him." What? Yes, Adam. I have come to my senses. Pretorius here believes that man and God are equal, and that the Order are working with God. I serve a greater purpose now, Pretorius. I see this. Excellent. Glad you've come to your senses, Victor. Nurse, I have come to my senses. Mankind is fucked. Victor then drives his hands into Pretorius' stomach and then tears through him, ripping him in half, killing him. Then Victor, with his supernatural strength, jumps and flees the Order's facility. Then Adam says to the Foundation army, "Quick, get out of here now." They then flee the Order facility, firing down as many Order guards as possible, and then get onto a SWAT helicopter, which is cloaked as in an invisibility machine device. Finding that they are somewhere in the mountains of Italy, they then escape. Then a voice asks Adam, "So you had a brief reconnection with your father?" As Griffin appeared in the helicopter sat next to him. "Yes, I still need to face him. You need to let me speak with him." "Where is he?" "I'll find him. I'll find where he is. And when I do, we will have a good chat." Adam then determined to find out what's going on and to talk with Victor. As for Victor, he walks among the mountains, going down them, not feeling anything, no cold, no senses, nothing. He then looks and sees that he is just like his own creation now. And then looks up at the sky, saying, "We have unfinished business, boy."